Over the past 5 years, the Edo State government has approved billions of naira for infrastructure, roads, schools, and health facilities have all been allocated significant funds in official budgets between 2020 and 2024. This investigation asks a simple question: what projects were approved? And which ones show visible evidence of being worked on today? This isn't an allegation of theft. It's a review of public records versus what we can actually see on the ground. Let's start with what the budgets say. Official Edo State budget documents from 2020 to 2024 list numerous capital projects. We see road construction, school rehabilitation, and new primary healthcare centers. Each project entry includes a title, the allocated amount, the ministry responsible, and the year it was approved. But it's important to remember that budgets alone don't prove a project was completed. They only show the government's intention and authorization to spend the money. So, what is actually visible on the ground? To find out, we cross-checked these projects using government budget documents, procurement listings when we could find them, and publicly available satellite imagery. We also relied on observations and photos from residents who were willing to share what they saw in their communities. What we found was that in several locations, sites listed for specific projects show no visible signs of construction. In some cases, the land is completely untouched. In others, we might see some preliminary clearing. But this is years after the money was allocated. These observations raise important questions, but they don't establish any criminal conduct. This brings us to the gaps in public documentation. In a transparent system, the public should be able to easily track a project from start to finish. We should be able to see contract award notices, who the contractor is, the project's timeline, and reports on its completion or any changes made. For some of the projects we looked into, this information was incomplete or very difficult to find. This lack of accessible documentation makes it hard for the public to keep an eye on things and naturally fuels speculation. These transparency gaps are a governance issue. Even when no wrongdoing is proven, the impact on communities is real and immediate. When a project is left uncompleted, people feel it. We spoke with residents in areas where new healthcare centers were promised, and they told us they still have to travel long distances for medical care. We heard from parents who described their children studying in overcrowded classrooms. Even though money was budgeted to fix up their schools, these personal stories show the human cost of delays or non-delivery of projects. They aren't about pointing fingers, they are about the lived experience of ordinary people. So, who is responsible for oversight? Public projects go through many stages: legislative approval, the executive releasing the funds, procurement and contracting, and finally, supervision and certification. Accountability isn't about blaming one individual. It's spread across various institutions. When a project stalls or disappears from public view, oversight mechanisms should kick in automatically. This includes audits, legislative reviews, and public reports. Ultimately, accountability is what this is all about. This investigation isn't making accusations. It's asking for clarity. Reasonable next steps would be for the government to publish detailed project status reports, conduct independent audits of capital spending, and make procurement records easily accessible to the public. They should also provide clear explanations for why projects have been delayed or abandoned. These are standard practices in good governance, not political attacks. Public money creates public expectations. When projects that exist on paper are hard to find on the ground, citizens have every right to ask questions. Transparency protects everyone. It protects governments from unfair accusations, and it protects citizens' interests. Silence helps no one. This story is an invitation for documentation, clarification, and facts. That is how trust is rebuilt. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth reports.